So there's always generally activity happening, okay?
And someone
which
here.
is it's kind of self-surveillance. And
Self-surveillance.
Yeah, basically you're having the right people you want in here, basically disencouraging the wrong people being in here doing activities. It's basically the way we manage McCormick Forest Park. It's the way we managed Juanita Bay Park, which when I was with Kirkland, and any of the upland or wetland parks where we're actually trying to preserve habitat, but also educate people to the value of these places. Because unless you're able to bring them in, you can talk to them until you're blue in the face, and they won't have the same perception that you will. To them, it'll be, as far as they're concerned, calculus. So when we put in trails, we try to put them in, the appropriate locations, so that we're putting it in areas that we want people to use, not in the areas we don't want people in. So it's a management technique and style. So I always think that if you want something preserved and you want more people to value those things, you don't put a fence around it.
Gotta bring them in.
No, you bring them in where you want to, so that they begin to see the values that these things have. Now you can basically, where there's areas you don't want people to wander in, you can put up it's almost kind of like sign barriers. They're like fences that almost are kind of like overlooks, but they have interpretive signs. Because then there's a special value here. Here's one of the reasons why we want you to stay on the pathways. So that's the approach I typically like to take when you're talking about trying to preserve the values of habitat for both, for everything. So.
And you found it to be successful.
Absolutely. You can do, you can go to Maidenbower. You can go in Bellevue, the Sammamish Slough. The Mercer Slough. There are wetland boardwalks throughout. Juanita Bay Park, which is 148 acres on Lake Washington. It used to be an old golf course. Now that basically is a nature preserve with docents and wetland trails and interpretation, and it's turned out probably to be the most used park in the system. But people stay on the trails.
But do they take care of it?
Oh, absolutely. What you're ending up with?
Garbage collector?
No,
what fall behind them?
Oh, absolutely. Just the reverse.
Really?
Yeah. Because people start, they become proprietary owners of the experience.
I wish that were true here.
Well,
God, I wish that were true.
But the thing is that the people who come in here right now, they're coming in on private property for a different purpose. Okay? Because nobody else can get in here legitimately. So when you extend the legitimacy for people like you and I or anybody else to kind of experience these things, those problems have a tendency to diminish. They don't go away, but then if you have public agencies coming in every now and then, you've got a dish that shows up somewhere, guess what? It disappears like that. Because when you start seeing piles of debris show up somewhere, typically you're going to see another pile of debris show up not long thereafter if it continues to stay. It's kind of like graffiti on a wall. If you leave it there for a week, you're going to see graffiti grow. But if graffiti's there for a day and it's gone, typically, you're not going to see that problem again for a while. Because
and you have dealt with this.
Because absolutely. That's just I've been doing this for about 30. This is my 33rd year. 33 years. Yeah. So when people are concerned about introducing the public into places, I say there's another management strategy you can use that actually increases the awareness and really I think the objective that some people are really trying to achieve.
There's a lot of people